daylight in the middle of the busy streets of Manhattan earlier this morning. I'm not kidding. No lie, no lie, no lie. This man by the name of Brian Thompson, just pulling this up real quick, by the name of Brian Thompson, lost his life outside of a hotel around 7 o'clock Eastern time in the morning, broad daylight. An assailant walked up to him or rode up to him. I don't know what he did. From my understanding, it's an e-bike he used or something like that. Rode up to him and basically lit him up. Couple GSWs to the chest. Now, they say that, of course, first responders went there, and they tried to use life-preserving, life-saving procedures. Of course, he lost his life. But there's a lot of people that are trying to understand why this whole thing went down the way it went down. And of course, given the fact that this man is a CEO of a healthcare insurance company, huge, massive company. I mean, this man is worth millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars because he is the CEO of a massive company. A lot of people are coming out with their conspiracy theories. What else is new? Now, of course, I was waiting for somebody to come out with that. Sitting there going, oh, could there possibly be a connection to the diddler and all that stuff? Well, we don't know all that yet. We don't know anything. This guy could have just been targeted for the sake of being targeted. It could have been a lover's quarrel. You never know, guys. You never know. But it is very interesting what happened to this man. So let's get a little bit of information. I got a news clip. We got this press conference, which I'll show you guys right here. Press conference. We are awaiting that as we speak. When that goes down, all right. But what to know about the UnitedHealthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, who lost his life? So he was hit and unalived this morning in New York City. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys to see. Okay, so in New York City was set to address his company's annual investor meeting later today. So Brian Thompson, 50 years old, was attacked by a assailant, a monster, outside the Hilton New York Midtown Hotel, where the company was holding its investors conference. So UnitedHealthcare is the insurance arm of the healthcare giant United Health Group, Inc. The investor day was canceled after reports of this incident. Of course it would be canceled. I'm afraid that some of you may know, we're dealing with very serious medical situation with one of our team members. Very serious medical situation. No, him gone. Man pulled up on a e-bike and pew-pewed this man right on the street. And this is most definitely a targeted attack. This wasn't a situation where this monster just pulled up, just wanted to hit anybody, because it's New York City. New York City's busy all the time. It's constantly moving, constantly. There ain't no way those streets are not busy unless it's 9/11. Real talk. I got stories about 9/11. I'll explain to you guys one day when we have time. But still, for me, ain't never seen the streets empty in New York City until 9/11. That was the only day. The day after 9/11, a few days, like a week after 9/11, it was just ghost town, tumbleweeds. There's always somebody or some bodies walking around in New York City because it is the city that never sleeps, and that is for sure. So this is definitely a targeted attack. So United Health Group staff said during the investor day, according to a transcript obtained by CNBC, and as a result, they continue, I'm afraid we're going to have to bring to a close the event today, which I'm sure you'll understand. An announcement was made to the attendees Wednesday morning that the conference was being ended early. So who is he? So he served as CEO for more than 3 years, having been named to the top job in April of 2021, according to his official bio. He had been with UnitedHealthcare since 2004, so he's been there for a long time. He held numerous roles with the company, including CEO of UnitedHealthcare government programs and the CEO of UnitedHealthcare Medicare and Retirement, according to his LinkedIn page, appearing to belong to Brian Thompson. Before he worked with this particular company, he worked at PwC in financial roles. He graduated from the University of Iowa in 1997. So, what is United Healthcare? And I'm sure a lot of you guys would like to know some small little facts or a quick reminder. United Healthcare is the largest provider in Medicare Advantage plans in the country and also manages healthcare or health insurance coverage for employees and state and federally funded Medicaid programs. The United Health Group is, quote unquote, the biggest healthcare conglomerate in the United States based on revenue, and it's roughly $563 billion market cap. Damn. And of course, UHC, United Healthcare, is based in Minnesota. Don't you know? So there's been people questioning if this has any connection between Tim Walz, Kamala Harris, all that stuff. I don't know about any of that. And I will say, just because, you may know somebody doesn't mean that there's something sinister going on here. But Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who also was running for vice president, you remember, all right, shared a statement on social media saying, "This is horrifying news and a terrible loss for the business and healthcare community in Minnesota. Minnesota is sending our prayers to Brian's family and the United Healthcare team." So he lived in Maple Grove, Minnesota, according to CNBC. So pretty interesting stuff nonetheless. We are still learning more as we keep going, but let me play a little bit of this so we can see what's going on. And again, press conference has not happened yet, but again, this is nuts, absolutely nuts.
Well, this is a Fox 10 News Alert. We have a story coming in from New York City, just shocking. The CEO of United Healthcare has just been shot to death in Midtown Manhattan. We have live pictures coming in from the scene of the killing right there in New York, 54th Street, I believe. Police sources telling the New York Post it happened this morning outside the Hilton Hotel. They say that Brian Thompson was shot multiple times. He was hit in the chest. They rushed him to the nearby Mount Sinai Hospital where he was pronounced dead. So sources say that a male suspect, a man who was masked, and according to witnesses who spoke to the Post, had been spotted milling around the area for several minutes before the shooting. He fired a number of shots from a distance of about 20 feet. No motive is known, but it did happen as United Health was getting ready for its annual Investor Day.
Now, here it is. First and foremost, okay, so just letting you guys know, the TikTok. I am playing a little bit of a clip. I am going to be playing this press conference. You're not going to be able to hear that stuff on TikTok. So please go over to the YouTube and check it out on my page, okay, if you can. But still, this is very interesting. This guy got up pretty close. Long story short, this guy got up pretty close. He got comfortably close. And then he opened fire on this man, hitting him right here, right in the chest, taking him out. That's crazy. In broad daylight, y'all. Let me just say that again. In broad daylight. Do you know how terrifying? That's terrifying. Do you know how terrifying that could be? You're walking down the street. You're not Brian Thompson. You're just walking down the street minding your own business. And suddenly you see this happen. This guy comes up. The ball's on some people. Okay? Now I'm wondering, is this a professional? Is this just some random person that just wanted to take him out for the sake of taking him out? I got questions. I got questiones, y'all. And mind you, guys, I will say this: I'm battling a little bit of a cold, so I'm going to be, I'm a little, I'm still a little congested. Okay, guys, and yes, I'm taking care of myself. I'm sipping the tea. I'm taking all the stuff that I need to take so I can get this cold over with. It's a very minor cold, but like I said, just letting you guys know. All right, if I'm like clearing my throat a little bit between reading articles and stuff like that, just letting you guys know. But anyway, this is very interesting. But let's continue.
Thompson, who had worked with UnitedHealthcare for the last 20 years, took over the role of CEO 3 years ago. Previously served as the company's head of government programs, including Medicare and retirement. Now, the killer fled on a bicycle, actually one of the quicker ways to move through Midtown Manhattan traffic. Let's go back to that.
No, and that's true. That's true, but on a damn bike? So if they... Okay, let me just continue on. On a mother-loving bike, pew pew, and then ring ring, just, you know what I'm saying? Okay, this is on a bike, dude. Come on a bike. Let's go.
That live picture one more time can show you the area where the shooting happened and where he fled from. There is said to be, obviously, a wide manhunt underway right now. There is no word why someone would want one of the more well-known American business leaders dead. But again, this shocking story coming in this morning after being shot multiple times from about 20 feet away.
Okay, let me just say this too, and we're gonna continue on though, okay? Because they are going to be doing a press conference any minute now, as you guys can see right here. All right, but let me just point something out. And I might sound crazy when I say this, but there's a lot of people that feel some type of way about healthcare, about the healthcare industry, big pharma, all that stuff. So there could be reasons why somebody would want to do something crazy like this. But let's take a look at what's going on here. It looks like they're about to get started.
Thank you very much.
They're coming in hot. Let's
Good morning,
go.
everyone. In Midtown Manhattan early this morning, 50-year-old Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, was shot and killed in what appears at this early stage of our investigation to be a brazen, targeted attack. This does not appear to be a random act of violence. The victim was in New York City to speak at an investor conference. It appears the suspect was lying in wait for several minutes. And as the victim was walking to the conference hotel, the suspect approached from behind and fired several rounds, striking the victim at least once in the back and at least once in the right calf. Many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target. The suspect fled, first on foot, then on an e-bike, and was last seen in Central Park on Center Drive early this morning. The victim was removed to Roosevelt Hospital, where he was pronounced. We've been in touch with his family, his friends, and his colleagues, and they are very much in our thoughts and prayers at this hour. The full investigative efforts of the New York City Police Department are well underway, and we will not rest until we identify and apprehend the shooter in this case. The women and men of the NYPD take enormous pride in the work that they do each day and each night to drive down crime and violence in our city. Right now, we are asking the public for your help. If you have any information about this case, call Crime Stoppers at 800-577-TIPS. We have increased the reward in this case to $10,000. I want to be clear. At this time, every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack. Millions of people will be enjoying the tree lighting tonight, among other holiday events, and the NYPD will be out there with them, keeping them safe. For some preliminary details about today's tragic incident, I pass it over to our Chief of Detectives, Chief Joe Kenny.
Thank you, Commissioner. The information I'm about to give you is preliminary as our investigation is continuing. This morning at 6:46 a.m., patrol officers from Midtown North Precinct responded to a 911 call of a person shot in front of the Hilton Hotel located at 1335 Avenue of the Americas. This is between West 53rd Street and West 54th Street. At 6:48 a.m., officers arrive and find the victim, Brian R. Thompson, a 50-year-old male, on the sidewalk in front of the Hilton with gunshot wounds to his back and leg. Mr. Thompson was removed by EMS to Roosevelt Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 7:12 a.m. Mr. Thompson is the CEO of UnitedHealthcare and resides in Minnesota. Detectives from Night Watch, Midtown North Detective Squad, and Manhattan South Homicide responded to the scene and began their investigation. What we know is that the shooter arrived at the location on foot about 5 minutes prior to the victim's arrival. He stands alongside the building line as numerous other people and pedestrians pass him by. From video, we see at 6:44 a.m., the victim is walking alone towards the Hilton after exiting his hotel across the street. We believe the victim was headed to the Hilton Hotel to attend the United Health Group Investors Conference that was scheduled to start at 8 a.m. The shooter appears to be a light-skinned male. He's wearing a light brown or cream-colored jacket, a black face mask, black and white sneakers, and a very distinctive gray backpack. The shooter steps onto the sidewalk from behind the car. He ignores numerous other pedestrians, approaches the victim from behind, and shoots him in the back. The shooter then walks toward the victim and continues to shoot. It appears that the gun malfunctions as he clears the jam and begins to fire again. The shooter then flees on foot northbound into an alleyway between 54th Street and 55th Street. Once at West 55th Street, the shooter continues to walk westbound on the Avenue of the Americas, where he gets onto an electric e-city bike and rides northbound on the Avenue of Americas towards Central Park, where at 6:48 a.m., we have the shooter riding this bike into Central Park at Center Drive. At the scene, we recover 3 live 9mm rounds and 3 discharged 9mm shell casings. The motive for this murder currently is unknown, but based on the evidence we have so far, it does appear that the victim was specifically targeted, but at this point, we do not know why. This does not appear to be a random act of violence. We are seeking information from the public to help identify the shooter. As the commissioner said, we have upped the reward up to $10,000 for information. You're urged to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-TIPS. All information will be kept anonymous. Thank you very much.
All right, well, I'm going to open up to a couple of questions. I'm going to start off with Shimon, CNN. So it's
about an hour and 20 minutes before the start of the conference. Is there any indication that he was going to meet someone? Because it's pretty early. Is he on his way to meet someone there?